Birmingham. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Birmingham, a city and metropolitan borough in England's West Midlands County. It's the second largest city in the whole of the UK, with an approximate population of 1.145 million people. Now imagine if they all click subscribe. Back in the 6th century, Birmingham was nothing more than a small Saxon village. But by the 20th century, it had become Britain's centre of manufacturing. These days, it's best known for business, retail, and events. Musicians and bands that hail from Birmingham include UB40, Duran Duran, Electric Light Orchestra, Laura Mvula, I hope that's how you say it, The Streets, and none other than Ozzy Osbourne, and the rest of Black Sabbath. Rock and roll. Or rock and roll. All very well and good, but what's the second biggest city in the UK like for street music? There is only one way to find out. Here is how I got on busking in Birmingham. I mean Birmingham. Welcome then to Birmingham. ARP has finally hit the Midlands, arguably the best accent in the country. Midlands is known for its friendliness too, so I'm expecting some friendly vibes today, I hope. I recently visited Slough and it's known as a concrete jungle. If Slough's a concrete jungle, then this is the concrete rainforest. Although apparently there's more green in Birmingham than there is in Paris. I've spent the best part of 2 days trying to figure out where you are and aren't allowed to busk here in Birmingham. So hopefully I can give you a good comprehensive review of the rules. So over to future me. The rules for busking in Birmingham. Birmingham City Council state: busking is welcome on most public land in Birmingham. No license is required. However, performance should be considerate of those around you. Now, back in August 2022, Birmingham City Council caused controversy when they banned busking from certain areas of the city centre. Shocking. It got write-ups in the local news, and as you can imagine, some of the local buskers weren't best pleased. The council actually issued 2 new PSPOs, or Public Space Protection Orders, that restrict the use of amplifiers and musical instruments in certain key areas and across certain times within the city centre. Now, it took me a hot minute to try and understand all of this, where these key areas are and what the actual rules are within these areas, but I think I've grasped it now. So let me take you through it. The 2 PSPOs in question can be found on the council's website. They are the High Street and New Street PSPO and the New Street and Temple Street PSPO. PSPO. That should be a song. Now, the first few pages of both is a whole lot of jargon. All you really need to look at are the maps on the bottom pages. Essentially, you can busk anywhere in the orange sections between 8 AM and 8 PM. But you cannot busk in the green sections ever. 24/7 ban. No busking. Shocking. The streets in question are, of course, New Street, the High Street, and Temple Street. Hence the title of the PSPOs. PSPO! And I will go through all the spots in the next part of this video just so you know where you can and can't busk within those streets in detail. You know, I'm ARP. I've got your back, don't worry. As for Birmingham City Council's guidelines, they offer a handy guide. It's a 2-page document with a whole lot of information in it, but for us buskers, it's only really worth going through the first section, and I'll condense it down to its relevant points. Children of compulsory school age cannot busk in Birmingham. Do not set up near other performers. Be aware of businesses and residents. Standard stuff, this. No speakers between the hours of 9 PM and 8 AM. This just all says don't block public access, you know, don't block the highway. They encourage pitch swapping between buskers, and they even state that there should be no pressuring other buskers out of pitches. Worth mentioning. Definitely worth mentioning. Maximum recommended time in a pitch is 2 hours. They encourage us to introduce ourselves to the local businesses and people sharing the space, and they also encourage a sound check to check the volume, which is kind of formal. Just don't be too loud. If you're using loud instruments such as percussion, brass, amplifiers, and bagpipes, then they suggest taking regular breaks. And they tell us to keep it varied. Vary the songs, styles, and tempo. The rest of the document just goes on to say how to resolve issues, but we're a rad bunch of quality buskers. There's gonna be no issues. So no need to worry, eh folks? And that's all you really need to know about busking in Birmingham. What do you reckon, Ozzy?
What a load of
Fair enough. So let's get on with my day in Birmingham. Spot number 1.
I'm not sure if I can sit up here or not. I'm pretty sure I can. I'd say 95%. That's how much I trust my research.
He asked me why I do what I do, but there's this girl, beer in hand, shooting her legs, getting into trouble playing.
Well, I can tell you that I needn't have worried. In fact, there were no issues at all throughout the entire day regarding any of these PSPOs or anything.
So yeah, there was this girl. Yeah, there was this girl.
For spot number 1, I set up at the top of the high street in the orange area of the PSPO. From what I can see, this orange area on the high street begins at the gym group, and goes all the way up to Marks and Spencer's and beyond.
Won't get you very far. Time you should have been known to close to you is in a front row.
By the way, anywhere that isn't mentioned in the PSPOs, it's okay to busk, as long as it's public land. It's all fair game other than those highlighted areas.
And I did anything to make her mine. I was out of my mind, cause she's out of this world, yeah. There was this girl.
I set up opposite Marks and Spencer's on the junction of Union Street. I'd actually seen a TikTok video of another busker set up here, and I figured it would have a fair amount of foot traffic throughout the morning. It was also an ideal spot because it kind of faced away from the main shopping area that was around the high street, which meant if another busker came and set up down there, our sounds wouldn't clash.
On the town, wanting why you ever settle down. There's this girl, beer in hand, shooting a star to get a friend.
It was about 10 AM when I first set up, and things got off to a good start instantly. People of the Midlands are known for their friendliness, and within 2 songs, I already found myself in a conversation with a fellow musician.
Yeah, that was this girl.
Yes, dude, how are you doing? You good?
So say, do you like his music?
Hello.
You're sick, bro.
Oh,
I'm
thank
feeling
you,
like
man.
you've got.
I appreciate it.
Obviously, see, like, I'm an artist myself, bro.
Oh, cool. Oh, wicked.
I'm an artist.
Oh, sick. Like artist or music artist?
Rapper.
Oh, sick.
I be the one who took you in at night, and if you wanna leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me.
I freaking love the way busking brings like-minded souls together. Inspired by the kind words of my new friend from the Midlands, I was in very good spirits.
Not finding what I'm looking for. Believe me, I can know anymore. Not found the key and I unlocked the door.
We're off to a flying start, man. Like crazy good start.
However, as Birmingham started to wake up, so did the other buskers. My early start had won me the overall attention for about 30 minutes. But as soon as I was joined by other street musicians, as well as the preachers and the charity workers and the folk selling stuff, the attention was soon diluted across us all. And obviously this is no bother whatsoever. But with so much going on, the foot traffic doesn't know where to look, doesn't know where to listen. It's fair enough. City busking. What can you do?
I probably spoke a bit too soon when I said it was going really well at the start. I had an influx of notes come in, and that was rad. And then it's been a bit quieter on the ground since. But it's very friendly.
The friendliness prevailed, and I continued to enjoy myself, playing tunes for the people of Birmingham, and enjoying the fact that summer busking is very much here.
It's over, we're not here anymore.
It seemed I'd chosen wisely in regards to the spot. The council officers walked past several times and even gave me a few waves. There was also a fellow busker who had chosen to set up further down the high street, maybe even in the green zone.
And oh, she's everything you're looking for, mama, it's over.
It did make me wonder, how enforced are these PSPOs?
Know what I want, mama, it's over, it's over.
Needless to say though, I wasn't personally going to risk any fines or being moved on. No issues to resolve here, my friends. Isn't that just a crazy amount of people? When I'm in a place where there's loads of people, I always think about each individual heartbeat, and how if you could hear every single person's heartbeat, that would sound crazy. Imagine being in a big crowd and you could hear heartbeats. Alright, let's review spot one there. Biggest regret of the spot is I wish I'd set up in the sun. I was feeling timid because I was worried that I might get moved on. I wasn't 100% sure that I was meant to be there. I was like 99.999. But you know, you've always got that little bit of pre-busk anxiety, especially on the first set. But turned out to be okay. It was nice, lots of friendly faces. Like I already said, there were people not acknowledging me a whole lot, and I think it's probably just because it's a city, there's lots going on. They probably get a lot of buskers here. So let's go and check out some other spots, maybe just one more, maybe two, who knows. Oh yeah, total for the spot wasn't all that. For 2 hours and 15 minutes I played, I made £29.67. So make of that what you will. 0 taps on the card reader so far too. But I might attribute that to my sign. My sign's looking a bit worn. Maybe people think they're about to commit to a £222 payment. Anyway, I'm gonna try and make sure I'm definitely in the sun next. Can't miss it. This British summer goes too quick. Got to make the most of it.
Well, I've potentially found spot number 2. This isn't detailed on any of the City Council's maps. This is Cherry Street, right outside the cathedral. And it looks good, it looks busy, so I'm gonna just attempt it. And I'm in the sun, which is nice.
It gets closer than it is too far, because I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep.
Spot number 2. After a good morning stint, I searched for a spot 2.
And I'm trying to keep my people in my head, steady going under.
However, it would turn out that all the other busking spots down New Street, High Street and Temple Street were very much taken.
Seems like each time I'm with you I lose my mind, because I'm bending over backwards to relate.
These 3 streets making up the majority of the city centre's pedestrian-only shopping area, aka the the spots you want to be set up in for busking. Or so I thought.
Really gets closer than it is too far.
If you are the one. I don't know it. Oh, sorry.
I wandered around for a little while, then I walked along a cobbled street alongside St. Philip's Cathedral, where I came across Cherry Street. Good old Cherry Street. Freaking love cherries too. They're like the best fruit.
In my head, you said it going under.
A little gem of a road that is pedestrian only and full of corporate workers on their lunch break. It also seems that it's a thoroughfare for those trying to get to and from the city centre's shopping area. An ideal place for a street musician.
Cause I hate it, you forget the that you might as well embrace it.
And this is where I had my best set of the entire day. First of all the office workers clearly enjoyed my presence. A few of them took time away from whatever meetings they were off to and stood and watched and sang along.
My head steady going under, cause I'm in city and I'm trying to keep.
Then a group came along, stopping by and completely changing the atmosphere of the entire street, becoming a proper audience, dancing, singing along, just generally having the time of their lives.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What just happened there with that group, that's exactly what busking's about. Changing the atmosphere of an otherwise dull street. So cool, man.
You told me you asked for a far. Oh, and if you held my hand.
I played for about an hour and a half, somewhere in between them. And Cherry Street goes down as my favourite spot in Birmingham. Should I ever find myself in this city again, I will return to here.
Around 69, back in the summer of 69. Thank you so much. Back in the summer of 69. Thank you.
That's so good.
Spot 2. That was cool. Spot 2 there was £23.97, which is pretty good. Corporate crowd, lots more like jolly faces. I've seen a fair few buskers walking away from the city centre as if they're leaving. So maybe for a spot 3 we can get on that new street one last time. There were so many buskers out when I was looking for spot 2. I genuinely didn't think I was going to find it. Luckily we had a little hidden spot there on Cherry Street. Cherry on the top, man. I'm about to hit the buskers high, I can feel it. I've exhausted myself of all anxiety and now I'm just one big musical note. Right, let's go find a spot 3. I haven't done a 3 spotter in a hot minute. Let's see what happens. Spot number 3. Despite my dwindling energy levels and the fact that my voice was feeling slightly strained, I mustered up a spot 3. I walked down New Street once again and noticed that one of the spots had become available. Now, just to clarify those PSPOs, the orange zone on New Street allows you to busk in the area between the Odeon Cinema and then Stevenson Place.
I need something sweet to
Then again between Bennett's Hill and Victoria Place, at the end of which is where I set up.
Oh, Mr. Hager, jump into the sea. Tell me which way to the beach.
The bit in between those streets, that's in the green zone and not allowed. As is the section of New Street and the High Street that meet where the boring shopping centre is.
Lockdown gonna get me down.
Lower Temple Street is also completely off the cards, no busking there, but that's it. Everywhere else is fair game.
Gotta say that she agrees. She can see exactly what I mean, she said.
And my spot 3, well, it's pretty disappointing.
Sweet to sink my teeth into me. Life was supposed to let you be.
Not going too well. I'm halfway through the hour. Well, over. I've had like 4 donations. Birmingham has been very scarce for donations. It's been made up for by some generous people giving notes. But had I not had those notes, I'd be on some pretty low vibes right now. I'd be on about £30.
Lockdown gonna get us down.
City folk are different to those of a small town, especially when you're in a big city like Birmingham. I think when people are in a city, most of them have an agenda, a place to be, a place they want to get to.
I need something sweet to sink my teeth into me.
And therefore have less time to focus on, say, a street musician. There's also loads going on, especially in Birmingham, man. On New Street, for example, there's preachers, charity workers, street musicians, food vendors, I don't know, etc, etc. And as a busker, you're a large part of this group who are all after the attention of the foot traffic somewhat.
Yeah. Tell me which way to the beach.
And it's fair game. It's kind of expected.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm so tired. My voice is a bit cracked as well, which isn't great because I've got 4 days of busking in a row. So let's hope that I don't wake up tomorrow with no voice.
After just 1 hour in this spot, I decided to call it. Finish up my day in Birmingham. Well, it could have gone better. There was like hardly any attention, any acknowledgement. Maybe my low energy was reflected off. But I think the spot was just a bit naff too. I think, I've said it before and I'll say it again, cities aren't where buskers thrive. We need to get ourselves in the small towns. That's where we get the appreciation. There's too much going on in cities, too much happening. Like, you're one of many things that are there to entertain and then brighten up and lighten up and make the place better. But I think the trouble is you get associated with all the people who are trying to sell stuff, and I played for 1 hour and I made £4.10. Shocking. So there's today's total on the screen. Right, I'm gonna send you back to future me and round off the Birmingham adventure. Look at that shiny building. Ah, Birmingham. Their place is super different to here in Brighton. Don't get me wrong, the people there are lovely, super friendly, always up for an interaction, always up for a chat. But the scenery, there's just a bit too much concrete, eh? The good news is, busking is definitely not banned from Birmingham. There are still a fair amount of spots for us to set up and do our thing. Especially that Cherry Street, that's one worth remembering. Thank you for watching this video. If you are a regular busker to Birmingham, then please leave a comment on any advice I might have missed. Correct me if I got any of that PSPO information wrong. It's worth the fellow busking community knowing these things. Give this video a like if you did like it, and hit subscribe on the channel. A huge thank you to you all for getting this channel this far. Honestly, it's like a bucket list goal of mine to have like a monetized, fully functioning YouTube channel. I've wanted it for 10 plus years, so living the dream. So rad. And if you are a true fan, then turn the notifications on. Live the dream, folks. I am August Radio Project. I make videos every week. They come out on Mondays. I've got plenty more from my adventures in the Midlands to come. In the meantime, you can watch the one on the screen, you can check out the others on the channel, and happy busking, folks. The sun is very much here to stay, or so it would seem. So go and make the most of it. Go entertain those folks of the street. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, happiness.